Our discussion for today is going to be focused on what are psychoactive drugs, or what are hard drugs, or what are illicit or illegal drugs. Our focus is not going to be on the various drugs that are sold in the other pharmacies, drugstore, and co. We are zooming into psychoactive drugs, these hard drugs. We want to look at what these drugs are and what are their effect on our system. So one may ask, what are psychoactive drugs? Psychoactive drugs are drugs or substances that when consumed into the system or taken into our system, they adversely affect our brain and alter our perception, our mood, emotions, consciousness, cognition, and behavior as a whole. Psychoactive drugs are drugs that, if you consume them into your system, they negatively change the physical structure of the brain and distort the brain functions. Psychoactive drugs are those drugs, when one consumes them, they disrupt the normal development of the brain and distort the functions of the brain, and also cause mental retardation. Psychoactive drugs or hard drugs are drugs, if you keep taking them, they have the tendency to affect your mental ability. Psychoactive drugs are dangerous. They are poisonous, they are harmful, they are toxic to our brain and the entire system. Research indeed has proved that these hard drugs, they do not only affect the brain, but they also go a long way to affect our lungs, our liver, our kidney, our stomach, and other vital organs in our system. In fact, these drugs have indeed destroyed majority of our youth. These psychoactive drugs have made most of our youth become junkie on the street. Most of the youth have become wayward as a result of these hard drugs. These hard drugs I'm talking about have made a lot of the youth become astray. Majority of them have lost focus in life. These hard drugs, which we are yet to look at example of some of them, have indeed rendered majority of the youth hopeless and dejected in life. So we are here to look at examples of some of these, hard drugs or these psychoactive drugs. Example of these drugs include alcohol. That's what locally others refer to as akpet, apio. Marijuana, others also call it intampi, abonsantaya, dope, weed. We are looking at cocaine, heroin, hashish, shisha, amnesia, rock and tie, crack cocaine, amphetamine, Benylin, Ritalin, Tramadol, 125, 225, 256, Colorado, Bama, and all sorts of dangerous drugs. So these drugs that I've made mention of fall within the category of what? Psychoactive drugs. They are also termed as what? Illegal drugs or illicit what? Drugs. These drugs are very poisonous to our system. These drugs are very dangerous to our brain. These drugs have the tendency to destroy our brain cells. We shall look at them one after the other. How these drugs affect the brain, how these drugs affect the lungs, how these drugs affect the liver, how these drugs affect the kidney, how these drugs affect the stomach, how these drugs affect other vital organs in our system. So viewers, I urge you to get along as we proceed in our subsequent discussion. Thank you.